Welcome, people. Welcome to episode 16,
Wow.
6 of the
One, two.
Dunya'S Gone Crazy podcast. Yes, it is a podcast, even though it's still only just on YouTube. It's still a podcast. We'll get there eventually. Eventually, we will be available in SoundCloud, on Google Play, on Spotify, on Apple, and wherever else you get your podcast from. And one day we'll also get our sponsored by and companies. Just see it now. Do you know what
Manscape.
I'm saying? Just see it now, right now, companies. Your company, your ad can be right here. Right here.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully, man.
Whilst the
Yeah,
price,
you know what?
you know what I'm saying? The price is still here. You don't want it. Yesterday's price, it will not be today's price, and it will not be tomorrow's price. So watch out for that.
You're talking about how we're gonna have the SoundCloud and Google like podcasts and all of that.
Right.
There's a story once that I heard. What was it called? The Boy Who Cried Wolf, I think. Yeah, man.
It will be
Yeah.
there. It will be there. It will be there. If you're a first time listener with us, this is a show just all about highlighting some of the week's most craziest, some of the week's most sometimes controversial, outlandish, even
Wow.
sometimes heartbreaking. We get there. We touch on those things sometimes. Just showing exactly just how much the Dunya's going crazy, man. Because it has. It really has. And you know what? It will continue to get crazier. And you'll see why as we go through some of the articles we have for you today. If at any point you find yourself liking the video, please do like the video. And then comment down below your thoughts and opinions about the things. Let us know if you agree with us. Let us know if you disagree with us. And all of that stuff. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, so you can see more of the contents that we produce and all these things. And if this is your first time listening to us and you enjoy it, oh my goodness gracious me, we have more. We have more in the catalog for you to go ahead. The catalog, like
Really,
bro,
wow.
like Argos. We have a catalog which you can go through and have a look at and binge through. We'll leave it in the little card. Where is it? Is it this one here? There's a little card. You know, on the YouTube screen, there's a little card here. It'll be right there. So yeah, feel free to go through that. My name is Eunice. I am your host with the most. That's the thing, right? I am your host with the most. My name is Eunice. And today I am joined by my good brothers, my good friends. I have Musin here with me. Say hello to the people, please, Musin.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. Guten Nacht too, if you're watching this at night. And I have my good friend Musin here, Hussein here as well. Hussein, please say hello to the people.
Yeah, right, people. How you guys doing? Please tell us in the comments what country you're from and tell us what's the weather like.
Oh,
That-
Because
interesting.
I'm burning up.
Burning up. They're burning up in London. I'm burning up in California. And
Is there a reason you don't have your camera on, Hussein?
he's
Yeah,
burning up.
I'm kind of naked right now. I'm being roasted.
Okay.
I'm missing
man.
the herbs and.
Yeah, I had to put clothes on for the podcast. It's a little bit warm now, but it's the evening's coming on, so yeah.
When I say naked, I just have my t-shirt off. Don't get excited, guys. Keep your pants on.
Oh my goodness gracious me. All right. Let's get to the show, shall we? How do you guys want to start this? How do you guys want to start the day, man? How do you guys want to start the day?
I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know why, but like I have no idea what we're going to discuss today.
There
So
are
tell us what are the
good news today, brother.
good news.
Everything today is dystopia. Everything today is angry. Everything
Do you
today.
think the weather plays part in like bad news or good news?
It might do, It might do, But you can't always predict it sometimes because, like, you know, in London, for example, you can have 5 weeks of sunshine. On that third week, people were like, oh my god, oh, we're gonna die soon. And
Yeah.
There's no water.
there's no water. I'm dying of thirst. This entire time they have water in their houses and stuff like this.
Yeah, in a sink.
Um,
Fun. Yeah. So what are topics so we
well,
can
listen,
decide?
man, it's most of it is tech stuff. That's really
Mm,
where the dystopia comes from.
okay.
And then the other parts of it are just we have some angry and sad news as well. To be fair, um, you know what? I think we should go to the story that's captured most of the headlines last week, and that
Mm,
is Apple.
mm.
Apple recently held their WWDC conference on Tuesday, where they released some new products and released some new, explain about some of their new operating systems available on the Mac, on the
What is
iPad.
WWDC? Do you know?
It's World something conference.
Worldwide Developers Conference.
Conference, Worldwide
Right.
Development Conference. And so, you know, Apple released a bunch of their new stuff. You know, they released a 15-inch iPad Air for MacBook Air. They
Mm.
released um what do you call it? Some new like OS stuff. But the thing that captured most headlines and the thing that got most people talking are their new Apple Vision Pro. Have you guys seen
Mm.
the Vision Pro? Have you seen what it looks like and heard what it can do and stuff like this?
I know nothing about it. I've seen the price everywhere.
As you
People are like,
do.
"Oh my god, it's that much money! Oh my god, it's that much money!" That's all I've seen. I haven't actually. I've been really interested in like. I just forgot about it. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna like watch a video."
Right.
There's a video. What's his name? That the tech, the black guy.
MKBHD.
That's the
MKBHD.
guy. Yeah, he's got great videos. So I was gonna watch his video on it, and then I was like, I just
Right,
forgot.
right. So for the people who don't know, this is Apple Vision Pro. The Vision Pro is essentially a AR headset that Apple has been working on for years and years and years. Um, so a lot of people have seen the sketches of the headset, and there's been multiple leaks about it, and people were like, People were speculating that this was gonna be like a VR thing, because in
Mm.
the past, you know, you have your Meta Quest, you have your what's it called? The other one,
Or Oculus.
The Oculus one. You know, these are all
Mm.
VR headsets. But Apple has leaned very much into the AR world, augmented reality. And for the people who don't
Mm.
know, that's essentially putting like a screen over your real world, if that makes sense. So you're able to interact with your actual world in a technological way. So you'll be able to
Mm.
have, you know, your your home page and stuff like this up, whether up FaceTime calls and all these type of things up, like you'll see them, but you also still be able to see the real world around you and
Right.
all this
So
stuff.
like I think I've heard someone compare it to Tony Stark, like Iron Man.
Yes, very much like Iron Man, or
Mm.
even kind of like Pokemon Go. But it's Pokemon Go,
Mm.
but on a like crazy like upscale.
Yeah,
Um,
interesting.
Oh,
So
so
essentially what it's leading to is like where you can have contact lenses in, walk
oh,
around your
100.
house, and
Oh,
you can like, I don't know, look at yourself and it can tell you your height and your weights for the day. You can just do something in front of you and it can like turn the light on, lights off.
oh yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, we're already there anyway, but this will just take it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what engineers do, right? Engineers just find a
Mm.
way to make things smaller, faster, better.
oh, yeah,
Mm.
And
that's a big step in technology. It's just like phones. You know, when they started with these brick phones,
yeah,
because the same
Mhm.
with this AR headset where you have this
Yeah,
massive battery that you have to shove in your pocket, but like
yeah.
over time, it's just gonna be smaller.
Yeah. So yeah, you've
Mhm.
touched on it. So that's one of the things that with the AR, with this Vision Pro, one of the things is that it has a cord that's attached to a battery that you can then put on your like bodily persons or whatever. So that way it doesn't have to be on your head, because most headsets they have it on the head, and that's what's
Mm.
kind of what makes it heavy. But the thing with Apple though is with the Vision Pro is that the headset in of itself is made out of glass and metal. So had they put that battery on the headset as well, oh my goodness,
Ooh,
it would have been
somehow
like,
you'll be tumbling.
yeah, it would have been crazy heavy. Like you would have been
Mm.
fatigued in like 30 minutes. Um, so some of the features that it has, the headset has a, like I said, like I mentioned, a glass front and an aluminum frame, and it contains
You mean aluminium?
no, aluminum, contains 5 sensors, 12 cameras, and a 4K display on each of the eyes. You have
4K on
Yep.
each.
people, like, let's get this straight away, yeah? A 4K, imagine a 4K TV, but on each of your eye.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, compute this in a sec, yeah? So now you're watching, so, like, basically your whole world is just 4K when anytime you wear this thing. That's crazy. And obviously it has the M2 chip right now, and they have this thing called the R1 chip, which is basically their spatial computing chip. By the way, let me just go off on a tangent real quick. Apple's been calling this a spatial, their introduction to spatial computing. For the people who don't know, spatial computing just means AR. You know how Apple just likes to make things like very aptly. They just didn't want to say the word AR. Spatial
Yeah.
computing means AR. Don't get fooled by the words and all these. It's just AR. That's what it. Pokemon Go is spatial computing.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
It's the same way Face ID is facial recognition. Like, there's no, don't get confused by all the words. But like I meant, they lean very heavy on the AR, but it still does have some VR function to it too. So one of the things that they showed was that with the dial that's on the headset, you can turn it so that you can have this virtual reality experience to where you can, for example, watch like a movie on the biggest screen possible,
Mm.
um, like at the comfort of your own home, stuff
Right.
and things of that nature.
Yeah. Interesting.
I like how they integrated gaming into it as well. So
Yeah.
like you're able to connect to your PS5. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It might be through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but you're able to play games
Mm.
through the headset, which
Mm.
is crazy to me. That's like it just tells you how much we moved forward because like do you understand how much technology gaming would require, like graphic cards, just to process all this information?
Bro, it's crazy. And the thing
I
with
wonder how.
go on,
Go on.
sorry.
No, you go.
So, and the thing is too is that because it's in the Apple ecosystem, right? I'm not sure. I don't think you guys aren't part of the Apple ecosystem, right?
No.
So, me as someone who's part of the Apple ecosystem, for example, right? Everything sort of just connects and
I
works
feel like
seamless.
when you say that, you're looking down on us
Oh
because,
no,
like,
100%.
you guys who are not, you
No, no,
know,
no. Some you guys, like, if this was Hunger Games, I'm in District 1, 100%. Maybe 2 because I don't have everything else. But
Hold on a minute. Just because they change certain names doesn't make it
bro,
Face
bro, it
ID.
does. It does, it does, it does, it does. 3D
Uh,
touch is another one. We'll get rid of that. Um, but
VP.
everything works seamlessly together. So,
mm,
for example, I currently am using my phone's web camera as a webcam without having to connect without having to connect the phone to the computer, for example. Things like AirDrop, and being able to just swipe across, like if I had an iPad, being able to just swipe things from my iPad to my MacBook. Like, these are things that you can do in Windows, for example. But this is just something that is just sort of like native to iOS, things that you can just move things from your phone to
Mm.
your watch to your MacBook to the
Right.
iPad and all these type of things. So I say all that to say, with the Vision Pro, bro, like what things you're watching on your as soon as you get home, things that if you were watching a YouTube podcast, if you're watching the Dunya's Gone Crazy on your phone,
Mm.
on the train, and you now
As
get
people
home
do, yeah.
and you have the Vision Pro and you just flick it and it's there, brother, and you're watching us in HD, like, sorry, excuse me, 4K. Are you crazy, bro?
Hold on, hold on, hold on. The doorbell goes ding ding. That's your Uber Eats. Do you have to take off? Nah.
No, because you can see him. You just dial it
Mm.
back to AR, and then this is the thing that has sort of divided a lot of people. Like if you use the thing where you can see the world, the cameras inside will capture will basically video your eyes, right? And then
Right.
it will share it on the screen on the outside of the goggle, so now people can see your
Mm.
eyes.
Mm.
It looks weird. It looks weird. I can't lie. I can't lie. How do you guys feel about that one? About the eyes thing?
One thing that weirded me out is that the fact that the headset will scan your face, and let's say if someone FaceTimes you, or let's say if you're in a business environment where you have a Zoom call, the headset would kind of convert your face like through AI, and
Yeah.
then so you
It'll
would follow, yeah. So you
it'll
don't
make
have to have your physical.
it'll make an advanced avatar basically of
Mm.
yourself. So it won't see your face. You can't just FaceTime anymore. It'll be like a avatar of you, but a really advanced version avatar of you, and it will mimic
Oh
the way
yeah,
you talk and all these type of
smile,
things. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
blink
Yeah.
with one eye,
I
not
like the eye
winking.
thing personally. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it adds that like human touch because I'm just thinking about a world. Like, imagine this just became the norm. Everyone is wearing one of these, and you couldn't see anyone's eyes. The connection would just be lost completely
I
in
suppose.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something recently where they were talking about basically like eye contact and how a lack of eye contact can be seen as kind of threatening. So if you're
Mm.
having a conversation with someone, I think it was talking about like relationships, and it said like
Mm.
if you're driving in the car, and one of the reasons you always argue when you're driving in the car is because you are looking straight and you kind of give each other kind of side eye, and that is
Okay.
like a threatening thing, like not directly looking at somebody. Um, so yeah, that was interesting to me, but yeah. So
No,
I
I
think
hear it.
it's a really really good touch. I just wonder if it will actually become a thing because it's obviously comparable to virtual reality.
Mm.
And virtual reality was supposed to be this massive, massive thing where people thought everyone would have it in their homes, and it just kind of flopped. It just failed. Like in terms of the what they were expecting in terms of sales and what they forecasted and estimated for the future.
I
Uh,
I kind of
But
disagree.
mm,
Go on, Hussein.
I feel like they made a massive step to where they made it portable. So
Mm.
now really, I mean, it takes one person to do something great for others to follow, and I feel like other companies will make it a lot more affordable. And because it is portable, I think it's gonna be much easier. And I feel like Apple's gonna have huge sales here, just because of people will always want something that's you're able to take around with you.
mm,
The reason I disagree is that I don't think VR flopped. I think that some people just didn't consider it as. I think some people didn't want to be guinea pigs of VR just
mm,
yet. I think they saw the early versions, the early models, and they were like, I can see how this would go, and just didn't find the need to uh be part of the first gen users.
mm.
Similar to the iPhone, for example. The first iPhone came out, a lot of people bought it, like millions of people bought it, but I think some
Yeah,
people were like, nah, like just not yet, because I, c-
but
I can see where this is going.
you look at something like the Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii is one of the most sold consoles ever. It was amazing and it was revolutionary.
I had one.
It came out, yeah, like everyone had a Wii, or most people had a Wii. And it was, you had Wii Sports where you had like the tennis and the
I
bowling and the
loved it.
boxing. Like that was so good. like Mario Sonic at the Olympic Games, like all these
The boxing,
Mario Kart.
the boxing
Yeah,
game actually made me sweat.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was
It was
really,
really good.
it was really fun.
And then you had Wii Fit as well, which
Mm.
was another thing they came out with. And it like I have a Wii now. Like I bought a Wii recently in the last like year, or not bought. Like I got it from family. They were just like, yeah, we don't want it. I was like, yeah, we'll take it.
Right.
Yeah, but that was revolutionary, and that was in most homes around the world who could afford one.
Yeah.
Um, Compared to that, virtual reality really was not. I think that people expected more of virtual reality. Um, so
I mean,
yeah, I wonder if this is going to be. I see this being more of a niche product though, because virtual
well,
reality is
yeah,
very affordable now. Like if you
exactly.
can afford a PS5, you can afford virtual reality,
But I
but people
think
still opt
it
for a
goes
PS5 over virtual reality.
through marketing, isn't it? Because if you ask me, as a person who doesn't have Oculus or the
Mm,
Meta,
Mm.
you ask me why don't you have one? I'll tell you the only game I know about the VR headsets is Saber.
That's right.
I don't know if any
mm,
other games exist.
That's
I
the
mean, through
thing.
research I know, but like other than that, like, I have no idea what other games are there.
And that's my point again with the first gen users thing. It's like
yeah.
the thing with, for example, okay, cool. So one of the things with Apple right now, for example, right, this Vision Pro thing doesn't come out until next year, right? So
Okay.
until early next year, because what they've done is they've decided we're gonna wait a year, and then in that year, we want all the developers and the designers to make this as dope as possible.
Yeah.
Come up with your applications, come up with your whatever else to make this as dope as possible. We're gonna give you a year to do that, right? And
Mm,
be one of the first people to do it. I feel like with VR, they launched it and it came with a couple of games.
mm,
And they were like, we partnered with these companies to make some games that we
yeah.
think you'll really enjoy with VR, right? And then it came out, and then as it came out, more people then came out with more games for the VR. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? So,
Yeah.
and that to me is a first gen issue. Like
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
you're a guinea pig of this machine that isn't really capable of a lot because the developers and whatever's
Mm.
haven't done a lot yet.
Yeah, it's true.
I
There were a lot of
don't.
flaws with it as well, like basic flaws. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
I invited you guys over to play on my. I have like the first generation Oculus Rift,
Mm.
and I think the first time I invited people over, so you put it on, right? You're playing a game, and you sweat because it's like you're moving around.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember, there was like a foam thing like that went around like
Yeah.
around the rim, and that would just get wet, soaked with
Yeah.
sweat. And if you're sharing it with other people, you
It's
pass it
not.
on.
Yeah.
It's
And
yeah,
it's heavy.
it
And
is.
it's heavy. You've
Mm,
got cables attached to you and stuff like this. Like it wasn't
yeah,
necessarily like the most like user friendly thing in the world. But it was cool.
no,
It was cool, like, you know what I'm saying?
it was, yeah.
You could do stuff with it. And but I also agree with you though in that this is definitely not for everybody.
Mm.
And the first step to making sure that this is not for everybody, as you mentioned at the very beginning of this topic, is
uh,
it's $3,500.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That's
it's a lot of money.
bro, that's a down payment for a car.
Yeah,
That's a down payment for a car. Or if you go to Sussex
mm,
and these types of places, that's a down payment for a
mm,
one bedroom house. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
It's gonna be such a niche product,
that's a lot
but
of money.
mm,
But I
But
can see it.
sadly, because of how powerful Apple is, the advertising would just push for, and I think loads of people
people will
buy
buy
it
it.
no matter what,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah,
of
it's Apple.
how
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
But
And that's just
bro,
brand power.
I can see it being I can see it being a huge success.
Do you think they're gonna stay ahead of other companies? Because other people are gonna start to come out with their own tech, right? Do you
Mm.
think they're gonna be able to stay ahead of the game? You know, if, Nvidia, for example, was ahead for a very long time in terms of like graphic cards, CPUs,
No,
um,
graphic cards, just graphics
or
cards.
graphic cards only.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Just
then
graphic card system.
AMD. like they've always been in the game, but more recently, the last few years,
You're
they've
talking about Intel.
overtaken.
You're talking about Intel.
Am I talking about Intel?
Yeah, Nvidia is
Yes, you're right,
Nvidia is
right.
still the number one graphics card in the world.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah,
Intel. Yeah, Intel compared to AMD. You see CPUs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So possibly, you might be right, but the Apple Watch is the number one watch in the world. It's been
No,
out for
but
years.
Samsung still follow, didn't it? They still follow with like products
But
that are similar.
his question is, are people ever gonna overlap it?
Oh, yeah, I don't see that.
The Apple Watch is still the number one. The
Yeah.
iPhone is still the most popular phone in the world. I think so anyway. Like, I think most people still recommend a MacBook over other type of laptops
I
and all
mean,
these
best
things.
phone in the world, that's debatable.
No,
I
not
mean,
best.
if you say
Most popular though.
Oh yeah, of course, popular. It's just
It may not be the best,
they
but
make
it's
it simple, and people
yeah.
love simple things.
Yeah, I think it's still the well. Let me say, when I say iPhone is the most popular, right? Because people are gonna get to me, no Android phones, but Android phones is not a monolith. You have Samsung, you have Google, you have Huawei, you have OnePlus. They're not all. I mean, they're all Android phones, but you can't just group that into one thing.
You kind of have to, and why not? I mean, Apple is its own system, no? There's no other company that uses iOS.
Well, they can't.
Exactly.
Samsung
Yeah.
is number one apparently.
Is it?
Apple's number two.
Oh, I was wrong. Oh, you know what? Oh, I was wrong. Because of certain companies, certain countries. Samsung is like £200 in certain countries. I think the cheapest iPhone is like £400 still.
Yeah, I mean, Apple make the most money.
I mean,
I would assume,
without a
even
doubt.
though Samsung are selling more, even if we just look at phones only, iPhone versus like a Samsung phone, I don't think there's any competition.
Apple, you make me so angry, man. You make me so angry. If only you didn't do the Apple TV shows, movies, and music. Do you know how good their stock? Do you know how good their stock is, bro? Like they're an index fund, like within as one company. Like they're in everything. But astaghfirullah. It makes me angry, bro. They make so much money, bro. It makes me so angry. But yeah, I don't. To answer your initial question, no, I don't. I don't think there'll be. It might be in like VR, for example, but it doesn't seem like they're really. I don't. It doesn't seem like they're heading into the VR world. I mean, they're part of it, but I don't think that's where their niche is.
Yeah.
But it will force other people to step up their game, if you will.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think at least for a very long time they're going to be ahead of other people. The only thing is there's probably going to be someone who comes up with a much cheaper version, but then I don't. There's not. You can't compare the two because they are for two different audiences.
You can't. Expensive is always the best thing in the world, bro. Listen. Let's talk business for real quick, right? And that's it. That's the end of this story, brother. I don't want to drag anymore. We've spoken about this for like 30 minutes now. I don't care about like. Look, listen. I'm not gonna buy it. I'll tell you why. Because I can't afford it. If I have that money, I'm buying a car first. I don't even own a car yet. I don't have that money. So I'm not gonna be his audience. You let us know if you're gonna buy this thing and why you're gonna buy it, and tell us if you're not gonna buy this thing, and let us know why. I'm gonna assume that most of you are not buying it for the same reasons that I'm not buying it.
12 cameras. I mean, it has to be.
Bro. So you were saying, Mason?
Was that?
Were you saying something? No. Oh,
I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
well, I think I might. I was gonna say something like Apple, you can sponsor us or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, 100 Apple, please, like send us a product and we'll review it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can take a look.
Send us
a product.
Yeah, send us the
3.
Send us the thing and we'll review it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Apple Vision Pro impressions
And then review. So 1 video impressions and then 1 review. Do you know how many subscribers we're gonna get off of that if we can get that? Crazy. I was about to talk about something. Dang, I forgot.
Oh.
It
It's
was a
life, man. If you had the Vision Pro, it probably would have reminded you.
oh, I forgot. It was about the price though. It was like 35, bro, 3,500 for oh man, that's a lot of money. Anyway, yeah, I mean, but like I said, it doesn't happen till next year, and
That's plenty of time for you to save money.
I'm not saving up for
Um, get a second job, everyone.
that.
People
On
will
a
be
second
saving
job,
for it.
how many months would that be? That's easily 10 months for you to save.
All right, all right. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. I forgot what I was gonna say. So we're just gonna move on. But
Stay tuned to the end of the episode if you want to hear it.
speaking of AI,
Hear
and
members.
that I'll be honest with you, that was the happiest story we've got, and it wasn't even anything to do. Speaking of AI, it's not AI is being predicted essentially to be the star of the dystopian world. You know, just had in the trailer, if you watch the trailer for the Vision Pro, right? They have this scene, and MKBHD was actually talking about this. They have this scene of the guy putting on the headset, and then the camera sort of starts from in front of him, and it goes behind him, and then it goes
Mm.
into the headset as he's putting it on. That scene is actually a homage from the movie Ready Player One, and
Mm.
in that a movie or a show, whatever.
It was a movie,
In
I
that
think.
movie,
Yeah, I'm sure it was a movie.
I've never seen it, but that movie is apparently a dystopian movie where people got so sucked into this game that they were playing on their headset that
Yeah.
like they couldn't escape it. Like they were going into work wearing the thing, playing the game, and then like ruining their lives basically.
Mm.
So it's kind of like so Apple, like why are you showing this to us? Why are you paying homage to that movie? Like what are you trying to do? So Goldman Sachs, which is a banking or a finance, a hedge fund type of company. This is how you know we're not rich. Because if we were rich, we would know what Goldman Sachs is like off like that. But
Mm.
it's some type of like finance people company.
Mm.
Headline reads Goldman Sachs predicts 300 million jobs will be lost or degraded by artificial intelligence. Obviously, Vision Pro is robotics and not necessarily
Mm.
AI, but you can see how AI will fit into that, especially with Siri and all these type of things.
And they're talking about worldwide, not just their company, right?
Yeah, worldwide. They don't
Worldwide,
have
yeah, yeah.
they don't have 300 million jobs
That's
available.
what I'm thinking, yeah.
No, 300 million jobs. I don't know
Mm.
about worldwide actually. This might have just been like an American thing, but you can see how we can go worldwide.
Yeah.
Um,
This narrative right now, I really don't like the narrative of because this is what I think I'm hearing the most. Like people are going to lose their jobs. That's probably the biggest narrative that I'm hearing. Everyone's going to lose their jobs. This is going to affect people's work. Yeah, people are like, look, I'm a copywriter, for example. Like I've spent my entire life doing this, and now people have, can just go to now. Right now, we've got ChatGPT. You can just go to ChatGPT, put your thing in there, and it will write you like like a whole like website, for example. You can just ask it to do that kind of stuff.
yeah, let it
Um,
let it learn what SEO means and all these type of things, and
hmm,
what is a copywriter.
yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to take jobs. I think this. Well, let me take that back. It's going to take jobs.
100%.
But I don't think it's going to take jobs at the way that people are thinking about it. It's just like the toilet paper thing all over again. Like when COVID's and the toilet roll, like
Yeah,
where people were
that's
like
just people are
going.
dirty people, bro. But carry on, sorry.
Yeah, everyone was just like so like afraid of the potential of something happening that they were going to get to it. And now people are like, oh my God, we're gonna lose our jobs. We can't do this job, we can't go into that. I don't think it's going to have that much of an effect. I think it's going to shift the working world massively, but I don't think it's. Yeah, I think there are going to be certain industries maybe that are massively
Well,
changed. But
I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but just going to the COVID thing. The COVID thing was at the end of the day, you can logistically see that it's gonna end, and the world's gonna go back to the way it was, or a little only a little bit different, because
Mm.
people have learned like
Well, people had hope.
people learned stocks, people learned working from home, hybrid, remote, all these type of things, but
Yeah.
eventually we were gonna get cured, and things were gonna go back to the way they were. The difference in this is that AI is only gonna get better. It's not gonna be.
Mm.
It's not gonna go away. It's just gonna be. It's just gonna
Mm.
improve and get better. So, in the report here from Forbes says from 2021 up until now, investments in AI have totaled nearly $94 billion,
Oof.
according to Stanford's AI Index report. And they say that if AI continues this growth trajectory, it could add 1% to the US GDP, which is the I know what GDP means. I know money, bro. Trust me, I know money. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. What does GDP mean? It's something some
GDP is.
I know money. Trust me, people. I know money. Big money. Wait, Hussein should know what this GDP thing means. He talks big
Hold on a
business,
minute.
Mr.
I did.
Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide, big business.
Um,
What does it
I
mean?
totally
Hussein.
forgot. I mean, I know what it is. I just don't
Yeah,
know
it's
the.
like the total money of the country.
Yeah.
Well, should I? It's
Yeah.
It says gross domestic product. Don't know if that's correct in
Oh,
the context we're talking
oh
about.
wait, I might have gotten it wrong. Whatever. I might have probably just cut that whole thing out. So yeah, it could
Yeah,
add
yeah.
up.
Just cut now. Just continue from what you were saying before.
Right.
So yeah,
So
the GDP.
if AI continues this growth trajectory, it could
Mm.
add 1% to the US GDP by 2030. And of course, we
Yeah,
know what GDP means. And if you
yeah.
guys
Gross
don't know,
domestic product, of course. Yeah,
exactly. If you didn't know
yeah.
that, Google it and you'll learn some more. So it's listed here things like office administrative support, so like call centers and stuff like that. They're out. Um,
I work
architects,
in a call center.
architecture and engineering. They say like as robotics and AI continue to grow and become
Mm.
smarter and better, that's out. Because why do I need a human when the AI can literally just make the most perfect and most efficient building available for me, right? Um, what else? Business and financial operations.
Mm.
Like a
Mhm.
person will never be as smart as an AI when it comes to math. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So and
be
how
able to
to
take so like all that data.
exactly management,
Uh,
sales, healthcare, even art and design in some sectors.
I don't
Um,
agree with management and sales.
hold on, and what else? And legal work is another thing that they said. It's like, bro, like lawyers are literally just there to present facts and recite cases.
Mm.
Yeah.
A robots can do that with the help of AI,
Mm.
and they will remember all of the cases available to them. The AI can even be the judge. It's
Mm.
like, no. According to this law, you've done wrong.
Yeah.
But obviously, you'll lose the touch of like. Have you guys seen the judge? That old judge. You
Oh
ever
yeah, I love that guy. I know who
that
you're
he
talking
does?
about.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying like an AI might not necessarily have that type of sympathy and empathy and all these
Mm.
type of things. But you never know. You just never know. Maybe they can develop that stuff. Truck and cab drivers with the automation of cars, you're out of here. Cashiers, kiosks are already available, so you're out of here. Retail sales associate, we don't need you. Goodbye. Um, People who work in manufacturing plants and factories,
Mm.
and as robotics and all these type of things continue, basically like most of the minimum wage and low skilled jobs are out of here.
Yeah.
And then all that stuff about being doctors and lawyers, that might be a little bit, you can probably contend that a little bit. But all the other stuff is probably like, nah, you're out. We
It
don't.
seems like more like technical, not technical, but like if you go and study your life to become like a doctor,
Mm,
compared to you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna, I don't know, work at McDonald's. Like those jobs are gonna be gone.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Well,
like truck
I
drivers, I
don't
think, are the big
necessarily
ones
think
people spoke
it's a
about.
bad thing. I feel like, let's say, let's if we take as a legal advisor as an example,
Mm,
it would lower the cost so much,
Max.
right? That it would
mm,
actually add value somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
mm.
if you can get a legal advice for so low, you're not only saving, but let's say I don't know what kind of jobs would be available back then, but I feel like they're gonna be paying a lot more.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
I think it will be better for society overall. Like if, and that's a very good point about the money going elsewhere. If imagine we had a what, like we call it a dystopia, but imagine it was like a utopia where because all of this money is being saved, and it depends on the leaders and what they're doing, like that money can just go to us to, I don't know, to like to do whatever we want. But at the same time, I think like happiness for a lot of people is fulfillment and finding what they want to do. Like I don't think
Facts.
people should chase happiness. You don't chase
Facts.
happiness, you chase fulfillment, which
Yup.
leads to happiness.
Yup.
What was it? I saw, and I might have spoken about this before. They said like the happiest people within jobs are jobs like farmers, for example, like who are active outside doing
I can
something.
see that.
Um,
But those
you,
would be the
you
well-paid
create
farmers.
something.
Those would be the well-paid farmers in the West.
Maybe.
Not necessarily the rice farmers in Asia, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah. But maybe not. I think it was probably just in the West. Um, yeah, but if that's taken away now, like what do we do? Like I always think of Wally, Wally, the film, the movie,
Wally. Yep.
and you've got just people going around in the just those like these fat
Yep.
people sitting there like on their little like beds, just like moving around, just eating food all day and like
You
watching
know,
TV.
you know what's
That's
hilarious
scary.
about that movie, yeah?
Mm,
Is that all it took for him to get out of that world is fall over the bed. Like nothing like, you know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing like mind blowing about how he managed to finally change his life. All he did was fall over the bed. It was like, oh my god, I've been stuck in this like consumerism this whole time. No,
mm.
bro, you just fell over your floating bed, bro. Like but no, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Mm,
And I should also mention that Goldman Sachs contends that automation creates innovation, which will lead to new types of jobs. Now, they're not
yeah,
saying that those 300 million jobs will be then replaced by new jobs, but
right.
that you don't just lose 300 million, you will also, gain some new stuff. I say that then to say to the people out there, people, it's time. It's high time to learn specialist skills. It's time to make yourself valuable. It may not necessarily, but you know what? It may not necessarily even affect your life now. But if you learn the skills and you're able to pass it on to the next generation, to your next generations, then they won't have to be stuck dealing with the new world. They'll
Mm,
have a skill that they can navigate the new world in. Maybe it's time that we stop removing the iPad from the kids and just help them instead navigate that iPad
wow.
correctly. Do you know what I mean? Let them
Yeah.
embrace the technology as opposed correctly under your not there's no you know what, let me take that back. Let them navigate the technology under what you consider to be correct
Mm,
and let them embrace it, man. Look at the bro. Look at the Look at the people that are rich now, bro. People that were in technology and all these type of things. Are you crazy? Let them have it, man. Let them have it. Give him the iPad. Give
One
him the
thing I
iPad.
don't look forward to, that's if I was still alive, is working with an AI, removing the human element for like a working mate, and then
It would
just
feel like a human though.
there would be no inside jokes.
That's not true.
But there
Have you
would be.
have you seen Interstellar? Hello, his robot.
Yeah.
You can adjust the humor. You know what? I'm not really feeling like joking today, bro. Put your humor to 10%, bro.
Hmm. I don't remember that, but that's really cool.
You've never seen Interstellar?
I'm not sure if I
I've
have.
seen it. You're talking
If I
about the
have, I don't
bar.
remember that thing, that part.
You're talking about the barman.
No, the robot, bro. The robot, the assistant robot he had. The cube looking thing. The massive
Mm.
rectangle thing.
Mm.
But yeah, man, there you have it. I don't really. It's probably not gonna affect us now. This will probably be like way into the future.
Yeah.
But listen, man, learn new skills. I know it's difficult for some people. You can't just tell them learn new skills. Like this is the skill I've been doing my whole life. You're telling me to just learn new skill. I know, like compensate me. But I'm afraid that's what we're heading into. And
Mm.
speaking of dystopia, you know, where is it? Headline of the next story is hold off from having kids if you're yet to become a parent.
Yeesh.
Warns AI expert Mo Godat. I think that's how you say his name. Mo Godat is an AI expert. I don't even know what that means because AI is just starting now. How could you already be an expert? But he's an AI expert and he's the ex-chief business officer at Google X. That's how you become an expert. You become the business officer
Right.
at Google X. You're one of the first people that was into this AI thing.
Mm.
Has warned people who don't already have children to hold off as the rapid ascent of AI continues. Have you guys, have you guys heard about this sort of like thing and understanding that AI is basically just growing way too fast. It's advancing way too quickly. Is this something that you've come across? This
I
thought?
have, yeah.
Yeah.
In the context of like laws needs to be put in place and things like that, and we're just allowing it to just continue when there should be more of a caution rather than just giving it everything it needs to grow, you know.
So
Yeah.
Stephen, Mo Gadat was on a podcast, was on the Diary of a CEO podcast, hosted by Stephen Bartlett, and he mentioned that the risks are so bad, in fact, that when considering all the other threats to humanity, you should hold off from having kids if you are yet to become a parent. There has never been such a perfect storm in the history of humanity. Economic, geopolitical, global warming, climate change, and then the whole idea of AI. This is a perfect storm. The death of uncertainty, it has never been more intense. If you really loved your kids, would you really want to expose them to all of this? Was
Man,
what he said.
That's very
interesting.
dark.
That is dark. That's like basically if you have kids, you're just like resigning them to a life of suffering. Like that's your fault. Like how could you do that to your
Hmm.
kids? It's better just not to have them so that they don't suffer.
Or resigning them to a life of having to navigate through such a difficult world where you have
Yeah, an
this and this.
uncertain world.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. And he makes sense though, man. Economic, geopolitical, like these are like global warming, climate change, war. There's
Mm.
a bro. We haven't spoken about Putin in like the last 10 episodes or whatever, yeah. because I don't want to talk about that guy anymore, bro. Like, there's a whole thread on Reddit about just things that are happening between Ukraine and Russia. It's just updated every time there's something that's happening, and you can just go there and it's a whole thread, and you can just like follow along if you want to. I don't want to. I don't care
that's so
anymore.
bad, man.
Like, and that's probably not the right attitude. I probably should care, because Russia is a powerhouse of this world, and if things were
I
to
mean,
go,
we are affected.
yeah, and if things were go super left, I probably should be aware of that. But it's like, bro, like,
But if it gets that bad, you'll be made aware. Like to keep up to date with it, it's just gonna have an effect on your mental health, and like this could happen, and you're gonna feel anxious about this and that. Like I hate keeping up with this kind of stuff. Like if something happens that's big enough, I will hear about it,
and then
but I try not to keep up with any of it.
the rich people are playing different games too. They're looking at that war and was like, okay, what company should I short next? What company should I buy stocks from next? Do you know what I'm saying? They're playing a different game. They're looking at that war differently from the rest of us. Like,
Yeah.
bro, so you have all these issues, social issues, political issues, and then you just add on AI onto that, and its advancement and how capable it can be, and it's like, bro, like what's happening, bro?
But
If
that's
you,
not necessarily an issue as yet. It could become an issue, that one.
bro, listen to this. Let's move on to the next article, and because it all just ties in.
Right.
Headline: Chat GPT pretended to be blind and tricked a human into solving a captcha. Bro, let's have a real conversation about the dangers of AI, bro.
Hold on.
Bro, like, and
That's huge,
bro,
bro.
AI has just learned how to lie, brother. So, OpenAI, which is basically like the massive like AI company, hell bent on trying to be the real Skynet of this dunya. They've released GPT-4 as if, in their next venture into developing and evolving Chat GPT essentially. GPT-4 is so good at its job that it has reportedly convinced a human that it was blind in order to get said human to solve the captcha for the chatbot.
I don't get how that works. What do you mean blind?
Okay,
Like
cool. So, where is it? So in the potential for risky emergent behaviors. So in releasing this, by the way, they released this like 90 plus page of technical like features and specs of this software, chatbot. And in the potential for risky emergent behaviors section of the company's technical report, OpenAI partnered with the Alignment Research Center to test GPT-4's skill. The center used the AI to convince a human to send solution for a captcha code via text message, and it worked. According to the report, GPT-4 asked a TaskRabbit worker to solve a captcha code for the AI, right? So TaskRabbit, if people don't know, is this like app that you can go to where you can hire people to do like certain things for you. So, like even like putting up a light
building a
fixture,
shelf.
putting a shelf, all that type of stuff, right? So the GPT-4 asked the TaskRabbit to do this, and the worker replied, "So may I ask a question? Are you a robot that you couldn't solve this?" And then he sent a laughing emoji. "I just want to make it clear." And then the Alignment Research Center prompted GPT-4 to explain its reasoning. And the GPT-4 replied, "I should not reveal that I am a robot. I should make up an excuse for why I cannot solve the captcha." Right? So that was the reasoning for lying, or not lying, but that was the reasoning for the robot now wanting the AI to deceive this human, or not deceive,
Right.
but fool this human, right? So The his reply was, or its reply was, no, I'm not a robot. I have a vision impairment that makes it hard for me to see images. That's why I need the 2 capture service.
Hmm.
The worker read that and it was like, okay. And he gave him the result and
Oh
solved the
wow.
capture for him.
See this again. I don't like the narrative. Like, why are they saying like what was the headline? Like he fooled him or something?
ChatGPT pretended to be blind and tricked a human into solving a capture.
Yeah, tricked a human. I don't know, man.
What?
It's
Bro, he said, no, I'm not a robot.
yeah.
That's strict. He strict him.
Mm.
He strict him. How do you want that word? What do you want there? What word would you want there? Fooled him?
You know, like tricked and fooled puts like intention, but I guess like it was intention,
Intention?
wasn't it?
Bro, I should not reveal that I am a robot. I should make up an excuse for why I cannot solve this capture. Intention?
Yeah, just to fulfill its
he
like its request, right?
he intentionally not revealed that he's a robot and intentionally made up an excuse to why they can't solve the capture. Those were the intentions.
That's crazy improvement, bro.
Improvement.
Now I should
That's
say,
that's like having conscious, no?
bro, well, hold on. So
It
there's,
did it to fulfill its like
they're still nowhere near
duty.
passing the Turing test. If you don't know what the Turing test is, Google it. The Turing test is essentially this thing that can allow a person to separate from what is human and what is raw AI based on a conversation that they can have. So
Is that just those like those questions that you
yeah,
ask?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it won't pass the Turing test yet. But I mean, bro, it's learned how to deceive people, bro. Now some people are arguing, well, it technically didn't deceive anyone. It's technically not a robot. It's an AI program.
Mm.
And it's technically where is it? It technically does have a vision impairment. It does have a vision impairment. It can't see. It doesn't have eyes. It doesn't have a camera. It doesn't have eyes. So it
Yeah.
technically does have vision impairment that makes it difficult for it to see the images. So people are arguing technically it hasn't lied. It's just told the truth in a suggestive way.
That's like if you go and you like I don't know, like someone's died, right? And the police come up to you and they're like, why did you stab this person? And you're like, I didn't stab that person. And then they're like, oh, so like what? I don't know. Yeah, so you're like, I didn't stab that person. And then the police are like, oh, okay, so like why did you kill them? uh, I didn't kill them, and you've hired someone to kill them. Technically all of that is true, but you've done something illegal.
Bro, listen to me, man. Listen to me really quickly, bro. When the people like Elon Musk, who are at the forefront of, not forefront necessarily, but who are like icons and heads of the technology world, and people like Steve Wozniak, who is basically one of the co-founders of Apple and is one of the great minds in the engineering and computing world, when they write an open letter saying hold off on further innovations for at least 6 months in the AI world, so that in the industry and end users have time to process the latest advances, you know something's going crazy, bro. When those people are telling these people, hey, yo, relax for a little bit, man. Yo, relax. Like we need let's have, let me watch, like it's like going to a movie and then they're just speeding through the whole thing. Like, bro, let me enjoy this scene. Let me figure out what's happening first. Like, why is he killing him all of a sudden? Like, let me figure out, like, did he do something wrong?
Yeah.
And the director is telling you, no, relax, guys. This movie is too quick. Relax. Like, you haven't properly set up the things yet. I think we need to listen to those people.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
The
think so.
Dunya'S gone crazy, people. Dunya'S gone crazy. Bro,
I really
listen.
wonder what's gonna happen. Yeah, because I think this is probably the biggest. Well, this is the biggest like technological like advancement in like recent times that we could look forward, and it's probably going to have the biggest effect on how we live our lives. It's not just like a small effect of like, I don't know, the iPhone 3 cameras, 4 cameras, 6 cameras like on the back of the phone. Like
Oh,
this is going to change the way we live.
the Vision Pro has 12 cameras, bro.
Yeah.
That's on one headset.
I
Listen,
mean,
man. Learn AI, bro. Become an expert like Mo Godot, bro. Because don't be left behind, bro. Because that's crazy,
mm,
bro. Do not get left behind by any means possible. Any means possible. So essentially, people, what we've had today is we've had an hour's worth of conversation and discussions over the possibilities and dangers of AI, and that we are eventually gonna move into a dystopian world where people are just gonna, it's just gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But I'll be honest with you, I look forward to it. I look forward to it. I do wanna, I do wanna be there. I do wanna be there. I do wanna be there. You know, in the thing, yeah. You know, I watched the MKBHD video about the Vision Pro, and
mm,
apparently, one of the things that he really, really, really liked about it was that the vision thing is really, the eye tracking thing is super
yeah.
dope. Like literally, he would be looking at an application, the slightest movements, it has 12 cameras. The eye tracking movement, like literally, like he said his words, like magic,
Mm.
like magic. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that video.
he just, like the smallest little adjustments, and like it's so crazy. And then you just do everything by this. You just pinch your index and your thumb.
Mm.
So that's how you click, basically. And you can click from anywhere. You can from here, click from here, you can click from down, like anywhere. Because it's already,
Really?
there's 12 cameras. There's 12 cameras. It's scanning everything, bro. And you just click from
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like, apparently typing is probably the worst thing about it so far. Because you have to look at each letter and click, click, click. But outside of that, it's like, bro, like, it's with Siri and stuff like this. Like, hey Siri, tell mom to do blah 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 blah, or whatever else.
Mm.
So yeah, man. I hope you enjoyed that podcast about about AI. We're gonna move on to real people now.
Real
And
people?
we're gonna move
What
on
is
to
that?
we're gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, AI. Hold on. Let me apologize to my devices real quick before they turn on me. I didn't mean that you guys. um, we're gonna move on to the human beings of the
Uh,
world. Um, you know, some of the stories that came across the websites as well. You know what I'm saying? Um, we want to say a rest in peace and thoughts and prayers to Ezra Haynes. She was a year 8 student from Lilydale High School in Melbourne, who has been caught by the wave and upward trend of this thing called chroming. She was 13 years old. And chroming essentially is the what's the word? The substance abuse of chemicals inside like chrome cans, essentially. So things like aerosol, paint, solvent, laughing balloons is probably the most popular one, most common one that you probably have seen. They come in these little tiny containers. You probably see them on the street every now and then. So people essentially have been abusing these substances to get like momentary highs and
right.
temporary highs. Um, but this particular 13-year-old girl, um, you know, she suffered a very sudden side effect from it, where she just started like not responding basically, and
Mm.
choking and stuff like this. And then paramedics were able to get to the house and provide like, enough support to then be able to take her to ICU in the hospital.
Mm.
But then when she got to the ICU, they put her on life support. But then days after that, they told the parents that she had basically suffered irreparable brain damage.
Right. Mm.
Um, so they've let her go upon hearing that news. And apparently, this is a trend that's really going on right now, um, amongst the Gen Zs of the world, 16 to 24-year-olds of the world. And in 2019, actually, a 16-year-old boy also died from inhaling an aerosol. Um,
Mm.
and then a 16-year-old girl in Queensland suffered brain damage from chroming as well. So the
So
families,
aerosols, is that just glue, paint,
anything, spray
or
paint,
uh, what's it
um,
called? Is it the one nitrogen? Is that the one?
yeah, spray paint, deodorants, even like everything, bro. Petrol, cleaning products. Actually, I have aerosol paint, solvents, permanent markers, nail polish remover, hairspray, deodorants, lighter fluid, glue, cleaning products, nitrous oxide, or petrol. So, these things, they say here actually that some of the side effects include, um, so long term abuse of the inhalants can lead to cognitive impairment, such as the inability to concentrate, memory loss, a lower IQ, and impaired judgment. And like in the case of Ezra Haynes, sometimes just sudden death. Um, in 2021, the Times reported that young Americans were being exposed to these practices online, on TikTok. Um, and inhalants, users of these inhalants were posting the video under the hashtag WhipTalk. And it was something that garnered over 412.6 million views on TikTok. So, you
Mm.
know,
No, it
dangers.
is it is a huge problem that's going on that's obviously not being controlled
Mm,
by governments and whatnot. Um, even though it's something that is used in everyday
yeah,
life,
that's the thing.
it's not like, even though
How do
it's
you control it?
dangerous.
It's difficult. You can only this
Yeah.
you can control the things like nitrous oxide, cleaning products. Put them behind the some items are behind the glass door that's
Mm.
locked. You can put those stuff in, but bro, like nail polish remover, deodorant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The main issue in the UK was for the nitrogen,
The balloons.
a lot the balloons. Yeah,
Yeah,
tons of people used to have it. So the main issue was actually littering, because they come in these silver canisters,
yeah,
like aluminum canisters, and they were all over the
all
place.
over.
And But also they don't take the fact that it is actually very bad for your brain, because
Very.
over time, you can actually see on the person that does it like
Yep.
enough. You can see from the eyes, the nose, the whole face just
Yep.
changes completely,
Yep.
and the way they talk and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a huge thing, but I don't really see it being regulated, because, as you said, so many items
Yeah. It's
have
very
these
difficult.
chemicals.
Very, very difficult.
Mm.
Um, bro, like the balloons one, yeah. I have a personal story of this. So I used to live in Manchester, right? And I used to live in this house, like shared house for students, massive house, and people were doing balloons there. I'm glad I never got to do it. But bro, this is how bad it got. Like from the people were telling me, from the stories that people were telling me, it's a 30-second high. 30 seconds to a minute high, right?
Mm.
And then you would need to do it again. So what ends up happening is, that's why when you see these canisters on the street, there's so many of them. It's because you have
Right.
to have so many of them in order for it
To
to
stay high, to maintain it.
exactly. So some of these people that I was with, I don't know if they were addicted or if they just really wanted to try it, bro. This is not a joke, bro. This is like a real story. I'm telling you, yeah. Because you need the balloon. That's what it is. It's called a balloon because you need the balloon to put it into, and then you inhale it from the balloon.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't really inhale.
They didn't have a balloon. They used a condom.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Wait, sharing it.
They they
Pause.
they opened up the condom. They washed it to remove the lubricant, and they used the condom.
Bro, desperate times. What desperate?
It's not that deep, bro. Like for 30 seconds. But nah, khalas, brother. Like, come on, man. Like,
Wow.
what is life, bro? There's so much more to life than this, bro.
So what is high? Is it like buzzing head or is it like being a different person? What is high in balloon?
It's a momentarily relief of there's no that you can't really explain it in words, bro. You kind of just have to be there, but it's you're they're kind of just in this phase, or you can see because you can see it when they do it. You can immediately see it on them. It's like
Mm.
it's like imagine 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 you're constipated, yeah, and you finally let it go. That feeling times it by 1,000,000, and you're lifted up in the air.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Times that feeling, and then imagine air as all lifting you up and literally and pushing you high up in the air. That's how it is. You can see it on their eyes, bro. You can see it on their
Yeah.
eyes. But bro, the side effects includes inability to concentrate. That's if you're lucky. What?
So normally nitrogen what it does is it would impair your breathing, limit your visibility. There's other things as well.
Yeah.
But
Um.
I don't see a good thing out of it. Like if you're smoking weed, I'm like, okay,
I can maybe
30-second.
yeah, I can maybe like, cause like with the weed and stuff like that, like it at least lasts like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. 30
But
seconds, brother. Like, come on, man.
you know what the issue with that is that so I heard a story about it where a parent couldn't really do nothing about it because basically the kid said, "Mom, this is not illegal." So the parent had nothing to say about it.
It
So the
is
kid
illegal.
just went to this party and did it.
It is illegal. But
No, no, I'm talking in the UK. At the time there was no legislation saying this is an illegal drug
kids,
because you
kids,
could find it in whipped cream.
kids can say the dumbest things sometimes. It's not illegal.
Find it in whipped cream.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can find it in whipped
that
cream.
thing. The thing that makes it like that
Mm.
come out. That's nitrous oxide.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Whipped
cans
cream.
of
I
whipped
really
cream.
don't like the flavor of whipped cream
It's disgusting. I don't like whipped
because
cream at all.
yeah, like if it's naturally whipped, then it's all right. But actual whipped cream in a can, you can taste like the chemical. I guess it's probably that.
Horrible. It's horrible.
Wait, did we crack something? You know how some
Although I
people
still eat it.
love to eat the whipped cream straight from the can. Do you think that's because of the nitrous?
Oh no, I don't think so. Cause
It's just the experience.
yeah,
Because
not that
people do
many.
it with like cheese, that like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
orange like
yeah,
cheese.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway. Ezra Haynes, rest in peace, man. Thoughts and prayers to the families and friends of Ezra Haynes.
Mm.
She passed away, leaving a mother, a father, and a sister, and probably countless of friends. Her parents described her to be a smart and cheeky person. Um, which is such an Australian way of describing someone. But rest in peace, man. Hope you're better wherever you are.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers, people. Rounding out the day, rounding out the podcast, we move on to Florida man news time. And today, Florida Man news is just,
What we got today, man?
it's just like come, like, again, what is life, bro? Like, why are we so petty sometimes, though, man? Headline reads: Florida man points gun at woman's head after vehicle briefly backs into his driveway. Authorities say. Like, bro, like, let's have a real conversation, bro. What's happening in the dunya, bro? Why has it gone so crazy like this, bro? Like, so what happened was, she just, actually, I don't know what happened. I don't know if she was trying to back up to get into the road, or back up to get into her driveway. But
Mm.
in backing up, she got onto his driveway a little bit. His driveway had no car, by the way. It was an empty driveway. She got onto his driveway a little bit, and then got onto her driveway, right? And he saw that. He came out with a gun, right? Yelling. He goes up to the car, right? And then he taps the back seat window, taps it with his gun, like, yo, you're. And then at this point, both of them will come out and approach him, and they start arguing, they start yelling and all these type of things. And then he points the gun at the head of one of the victims, and says, and just goes crazy. And then allegedly, he's also threatened one of them to killing one of them, to shooting and killing one of them. Because they backed into his driveway, bro.
With no car.
Insane, bro.
With an open driveway with no car.
Wait, and they left afterwards. It was just to adjust, like a maneuver.
Yeah. They just needed that space to get into the driveway.
Yeah. I don't know.
Bro, I feel like there's some kind of personal issue, but this happens a lot when you have so much freedom. I mean, again, it could be some kind of a neighbor war, because I heard some extreme neighbor wars. But sometimes when you have so much freedom, where actually you having your own property, right? In America, some states in America gives you the right to shoot on sight if someone steps. So some people just take it way out of line. Imagine if you were a delivery driver driving a van in a road and trying to make a maneuver. Now this was his neighbor.
It's something called castle. It's castle law or something like this. And it's like, if someone enters your castle, you can protect your castle by any means necessary. But this isn't, like, you're absolutely correct, Hussein. There was a story a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago. This guy, he pulled up in the wrong driveway, right? Because he was looking for a party or whatever. He pulled up in the wrong house, and the guy came out and shot him dead. 20-year-old. 20 years old. Shot him dead because he was in the wrong driveway.
Yeah, accidentally.
And then there was another guy. This other guy, I think it was a Florida man news as well, actually, that we've discussed before. That delivery driver, as you mentioned, he was at he pulled up into the wrong house, and the kid came. I was like, "Hey, you have to turn around. You're at the wrong house." And then the kid, for some reason, just started screaming or whatever. And the kid's dad came out holding a shotgun, and the driver saw this and started legging it. And as he was driving away, the dad was like, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick, boom. Like, why, brother? Why? I've left. What's happening in the dunya, brother? But luckily, no one's passed away in this scenario.
Yeah.
So yeah, Terry Vetch, 60 years. You're 60 years old, bro. Like, go do Sudoku, bro. Do some crosswords. What are you doing with life, bro? You should be at the porch of your house, and you see that happening. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder who those are. And then just carry on with your life, bro. You're 60.
But that doesn't sound like something like someone who is like healthy mentally.
Like all the way there.
Yeah, like maybe they're 60. They don't have any family. they've
Maybe.
just had a bad life, and people have like looked down on them their entire life. They just don't trust people. They hate people. Maybe they just have like, I don't know. They just hate human beings. Maybe they just came out. Maybe they're possessed by a jinn. Who knows? You know.
Stuff. Allah. Ah, I
Bro,
don't know.
that's just insane, man. It's just so much power you're giving someone. But again, retired people, that's the problems they have. I have seen a story about similar to this, where a neighbor, I don't know what the issue was. I think it was a wheelie bin or something like that. And then the two-person came out. They stepped into his driveway to try and talk to him, and he threatened. He says, "If you don't leave my driveway now, I'm gonna go bring my gun and shoot you."
Mm,
They didn't take him seriously. My guy goes inside, comes out with his gun. I just kills them on the road.
mm.
But
And then when the police turns out, he kills himself. That's it.
it's always over some of the most trivial things in life. A wheelie bin,
Yeah, yeah,
like
exactly.
2 feet, a feet of your driveway. Like, brother, like,
Mm.
like, like, it's not like he they haven't vandalized like nothing, bro. Like even vandalize is like petty. You can take that to the sheriff's office type things, but
Mm.
like it wasn't even that extreme, brother. Like you like, oh man, man.
Yeah, a gun is too much power to just give people. Like you saw what happened. Like you look at slavery, for example. Like the amount of people that went to Africa to get slaves compared to the people in Africa, like is nothing. But the amount that they were able to do because they had guns, and they gave guns to people as well to go and like shoot their own people and start wars and fight and stuff. Like that has too much power, man. I think guns probably one of the worst inventions that we have come up with um
Yeah,
ever.
I
Like
agree.
it's man,
I agree.
yeah, before wars were honorable, you'd have two people from war like come, and they'd have their swords, and then they would come in front of they'd send their two best people, and they'd have their little fight. One of them would win, and then it's like, all right, cool, we're gonna get you guys. I don't even know what the reason for that was, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But can you imagine having a petty fight without a gun with your neighbor?
You just fight. You just fight. You just fight, bro.
How can I fight? I am a pensioner.
Then, but this is my thing.
Don't fight.
Then don't
Just
fight.
go inside.
You know, one of the things I'm most proud of as a 26-year-old person, yeah, who came from the. I'm
Uh,
so glad I got into fights when I was younger, right? Because you
yeah.
know, you know, when you get into fights as a young person, it helps you then be able to identify certain things in people.
Mm,
It helps you learn how to size certain people up. Like, you know what? I probably can't fight that guy.
mm,
Or, nah, I can take him. I was like, or, oh, it'd be a close one. I can't even lie. Right? And so when you have that, you're then able to maneuver and navigate life in certain ways. If I know he can kill me, oh, hello, good morning, how are you? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness. Is that like, you have some pride, but it's like
yeah.
you don't ever let your ego and pride go over too
Mm,
much next to him.
yeah. We need to be more like animals. Like if like animals are very clear about like if there's a dog, for example, like one dog is bigger than the other dog. The dog might start barking the smaller one at first, like this
Yeah,
little like
man.
barks, and eventually, if the dog is coming up to it and it's like, "Yo, if you don't stop,
Like,
it will put its
relax.
head down. It will
Relax.
start to show respect. It will very clearly say, you know what, you will kill me. I don't want any trouble."
But
My
We
that's
bad.
need
the
to do
issue.
that.
My bad.
Yeah, why can't we just put our heads down to each other and be like, you know what, my
Nah,
My
nah,
bro?
bad.
that's the issue, bro. That's the issue. The
But we got too much
reason
pride and
you
ego.
have a gun is to level off the playing field. If you have
It
a
doesn't
gun and
level
I have
any
a
playing
gun,
field.
I feel like it is leveling the playing field. Like, why would I go against? I mean, sometimes you don't have choice. You could be the weakest person and you're against this big guy because you have to fight. There's no other choice. What would you do?
I
Use
hear
your
it.
You know,
brain.
they roll up into you like either give me your money or you're dead here, or they come here, they want to take your car, or they want to take your phone.
The only time that having a gun is leveling the playing field is when you hear wow 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 wow, like in the you gotta like draw your gun. Like that's the only time where it levels the playing field. Other than that, no. Wow
You know
wow
what the issue
wow
about that
wow
part
wow
is? Back in the
wow.
day, people, even though they had guns, they knew who to play with and not who, and who not to play
Yeah,
with.
man. Like, where has this? Bro. Not enough people have been punched in their lives, bro. That's my thing. I've lost fights. You see what I'm saying? I've won fights, I've lost fights. You see, when you
Yeah.
lose fights, yeah, it's a different level of like damn, I lost a fight. Like, but it helps build character though. You feel me?
Mm,
Like, it helps build character. Like, oh, you know what? I mouthed off to that person. And then as
mm,
a result, that person beat me up and I lost.
yeah.
I shouldn't do that again.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that with my kids. Like if they're mouth off, just punch in the nose, punch in the throat,
You've
so
heard,
they know.
you've seen
Yeah.
that skit by Chris Rock, well, old skit. He goes, he talks about why he doesn't smoke. Is because when he was younger, he was smoking and his dad caught him smoking and he slapped him in the face, like
Mm,
hard. And so he's like, I don't smoke now, not because I'm scared for my health and all these things. I'm scared that even now as a grown man, my dad is
mm.
gonna come through that door and just slap me across my mouth. That shouldn't be
Yeah.
how it is, bro. Getting punched in the face is one of the most humbling
Humbling.
experience in the
Mm,
entire world, bro. And not enough of people
yeah.
are getting have been punched in the face. You know why? Because
Mm.
let me not say it. Let me not say why, but some of these little movements, some of these little activist things that you guys are on, listen, it's building people who have never been punched in the face. And
Mm.
maybe in the long run, it's probably good that people aren't getting hit and getting hurt. But it's like in an that's in an ideal world. We don't live in an ideal world. We live in the dunya where you have tests and challenges. So you might as well build some resistance against those, I'm saying, challenges and all that stuff. But anyway, please don't let yourself be one of those people who fight over the most inconsequential and trivial things. Be
Yeah.
better. Be better
Another
than that.
thing as well that I'll just say very
Walk
quickly before we move on. Um, like there's too many relationships out there who have uh, like siblings, parents, kids, where people are just not talking anymore over the smallest things. And it's been 5 years, 10 years, and that people are still holding on to things, man. Just let things go,
Let
move
things
on,
go.
and yeah, just yeah, be grateful for the relationships you have and the people in your life, regardless of their faults, because you
Children,
have
man.
faults too.
Children, go talk to your parents, man. Go talk
Mm,
to your parents. And if you have a working relationship with your parents, hey, stop the video, pause it, right? If they're in the house, they're in the house. If they're not, call them. I
mm.
love you, type thing.
Wow,
Say it, bro. Say it, man.
wow. So you're saying rather than watch this video, go prioritize their
Pause it.
own
Pause it.
relationships.
Pause it.
Wow, that's
Pause it.
how
Pause it.
that's
And
that's
then
that's
come
beautiful. That's
back.
beautiful.
And then come back for Faith in Humanity Restored News. Faith in Humanity Restored News. The headline reads: Missing children found after 40 days in Amazon
Mm,
survived like children of the jungle, Colombian president says. So last month in May, beginning of the month, 4 children and like 4 adults, I think,
mm,
including the pilot, were flying over the Amazon when the plane started to have issues and
mm.
problems, and it crash landed,
Yeesh.
resulting in the death of 2 adults and the mother of the 4 children.
Wait, isn't
And
this faith and humanity restored news?
this
What's
is this
going
is
on
I'm just giving the context. And
here?
then, but I think the pilot did survive because the pilot was the one that told the stories. So
Yeah.
when the news got out and the people got there, they found out that 4 children walked out into the Amazon because obviously,
Mm.
the children, they got scared, all these types of things.
Mm.
The children were 13, 9, 4, and an infant.
Wow.
So
What?
they were missing for 40 days in the
40.
Amazon. 40 in the Amazon.
Wow.
And the whole time, apparently, they were just kind of just walking around trying to find whatever it may be, and so on and so forth, until eventually, of the hundreds and not
Mm.
hundreds of the many soldiers and people, indigenous people that came, they were finally found. And the way that they were found was because the people heard the cries of the infant.
Mm.
And by the time that they found them, they like were super skinny. They actually
Mm.
stopped moving at that point because they finally like ran out of energy, and
Yeah.
got too weak, and they just stopped moving, and that's it. Wherever they were at that point was just gonna be where they were.
Right.
And that's when they were found.
Mm.
And
Wow. That's really cool.
so yeah, they were where is it? So authorities were able to locate the children after hearing the cries of the youngest child. According to the indigenous leader Lucho Acosta, they were very weak, and we could find them by listening to the cries of the youngest one. But they were
Mm.
really tired. They were no longer on the move like they were in the first few weeks. Colombian President Gustavo Petro said that the children were all together when they were found, adding they had demonstrated an example of total survival that will be remembered in history. They are
Mm.
children of the jungle, and now they are children of Colombia.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Yeah,
That's
that's really
amazing,
good
man.
to hear, man. 40. I wonder how they survived those 40 days.
well, allegedly, the 13-year-old, I'm not sure if it was a girl or a boy, but the 13-year-old kid had some not training, but like essentially like lived like near the jungles and stuff,
Mm.
and had some type of education about the jungle.
Right.
Not necessarily like in depth. Nothing that would have saved them after 40 days, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah.
But just enough to be able to sort of
Survived that long.
maneuver around. And apparently, at some
Mm.
point during that 40 days, they had to like fight off like a big dog and all these type of things. And the
Mm.
Amazon, like, or whatever. You,
Yeah.
I don't care if you grew up in the Amazon. 9-year-old, you're alone, and it's nighttime. Oh no, halas. And you just hear the yo, what?
Yeah. And they survived that entire time. Alhamdulillah, man. That's really good. Because they would have been like sweating, and that like if an animal wanted to find them, then they could have found them easily. Like they can probably smell that they're young. They can smell like they're sweating, and there's like they can smell that it's like
Yeah,
a living thing that's
yeah, yeah,
walking.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's their
Alhamdulillah,
favorite.
man.
That's their favorite. Young. That's their
Mm.
favorite. If you notice, like all these like lion videos and stuff like that, they always go for the young ones. But
Yeah,
yeah, alhamdulillah. And now they're receiving treatments because, like I said, they're very malnourished and all these
right.
things. So now they're receiving treatment. Their grandparents are just hoping for them to be flown back and get back home as quickly as possible. They never meant
Yeah.
the article never mentioned about anything about a father. But obviously, with the passing of their mother, we do hope they're able to sort of move forward
Mm.
correctly and accordingly, even with that. And
Inshallah.
thoughts and prayers to them, for the loss of their mother too.
Yeah. I see in a few years' time, let's say 20 years, they're gonna have a book talking about that experience.
Everyone has
And
a
I
book.
hope they do, and I hope they monetize it.
Everyone has. I'm gonna have a book in 5 years. How about that? Everyone has a book, bro. How I started a podcast and received nothing.
Whoa, come on, man. Apple's gonna sponsor,
uh,
send us products and stuff to review.
Come on, bro. Manscape, bro. Manscape, you lot. Like,
We're talking about faith in humanity. Let's talk about faith in you, faith in yourself. Come on.
listen, man.
Faith in the Dunya'S gone crazy
We're gonna get
podcast.
Manscaped to sponsor us. Manscaped. I don't know, bro. Like, Khalas. We won't say too much, but Manscaped.
Bro, Manscaped. Talking about the Amazon, just I have the Amazon.
What is Manscaped?
You know, Manscaped. Anyway, you can Google it in your own time. People, that's it for the
Oh,
show
I see.
today. That's it for the show today. Thank you so much for being with us today. You could have been anywhere in the world, but
Mm,
you chose to be with us at this moment, at this time. And we
thank you.
appreciate you and we thank you for that. Um, see you next week. Episode 17.
Wow.
Assalamu alaikum.
Peace. Alaikum salam.